Thanks for joining in. And I thought of bringing a veteran here. You have been to Dreamforce since 2009, right? You have not been just for a couple of years in the middle due to pandemic, but apart from that, you have been there, right?
Yes, I've been to quite a few Dreamforce conferences. When people say, "Oh, Metallica's playing," I can respond back, "Metallica's playing again," or the Foo Fighters are playing again, right? I've seen a lot of these bands in a lot of this process before.
Yeah, absolutely excited for Metallica this time, right?
Yeah, Metallica this time. I've seen Metallica a couple of times before. Outdoors was great. And when my first Dreamforce, Dave Grohl got up to the stage and said to the audience, he's never seen so much khaki in his, phrase it, gosh darn life. It was people in dresses, people in blazers, and people in khakis. So that was a very small Dreamforce back in 2009. And now, we have two concerts. We're in stadiums, and it's just changed quite a bit. And what are you looking forward to this year?
No, I'm looking forward to the new announcement. Sundar Pichai will be there, so excited for that as well. And Metallica is obviously no brainer, like you can't miss it. Excited to meet folks from all around the globe. I think it is an opportunity where it is like a large family reunion where everybody kind of gathers and have some drinks and enjoy their time out. What are you excited about?
I am excited that you said get some drinks and have some parties. It is for me like a college reunion. A lot of the people that I see once a year, I see at Dreamforce.
Likewise.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun there, and the beer is free just about everywhere you go. So I definitely would encourage moderation, since you're going to have to wake up or want to wake up to get to your next sessions the next day. Moderation is always key. Do you have any other advice for Salesforce attendees at the Dreamforce conference?
Yeah, I would say probably everybody has already booked their hotel. So try and book a hotel nearby. Try to book early so that you get a good accommodation nearby. Have comfortable sports shoes. Maybe a couple of those would help so that you can kind of swap them each day. And that has helped me tremendously, I would say, because you easily walk about 12 to 15 miles, if not less. Right, so you need to focus on that. Keep yourself hydrated. I would say carry a water bottle with you and some maybe protein bars. That's Josh's suggestion to myself as well. So carry some protein bars and carry water bottle so you keep yourself hydrated. That is the key, right? Because you start like at 6 a.m. and then you come back probably at 10 p.m. sometimes at midnight, and then you have to go back again at 6 a.m. So it's like 3 days full of something happening around the city. Every bar you go, there's a party going on. Some things are hosted by SF Ben, some things are hosted by like some other organization. So enjoy, but I would say drink in moderation. Don't drink too much, and be healthy.
Yes, and people who are looking for parties, I would recommend going to Salesforce Ben's website to see the different all the different parties that are on that site, because there are very many, and you want to pick those events that make the most sense for you and the people that you're going with, right? So, and yeah, go ahead.
I was saying Party Blazers is organized by, I think, SF Ben, so that is a good one to go to. Then Dreamfest you cannot miss. Then there's this breakfast by Eric, the Beacon Breakfast. That is pretty cool. I am planning to go there as well. That is specifically for newbies, but I think everybody can join on. And specifically if you're new to the ecosystem or new to Dreamforce, you should be there, and that will give you a good start of that. That is on 14th. First thing in the morning, you go there.
Right, and blocking in time for conversations, because for me, when I go to the conference, one of the things that I'm trying to do is find someone who spoke about a topic. I'm speaking, by the way, about preparing your company for Agentforce. But I try to speak to the speakers, not the consultants, but the customers, and ask them what really happened. Because they may say, "Oh, we reimagined our enterprise." Great. How? Well, here you hear about 3 things are in pilot and 4 things are live. 4 different divisions are live on different things, on different depth of AI use cases or whatever the solution is that they're talking about. So getting them after their session, not being a stalker, but just, hey, I just have one question. what really happened for you, and can you explain to me the lessons learned? Because someone else who, like, an SI like us, we've implemented at Agentforce, we have lessons learned. We talk to other partners, and they talk about the bruises that they have from their implementations, and you can get a straight answer that sometimes will save you thousands of dollars or thousands of hours on not going in the wrong direction, and really being thoughtful and having the right design for your solution, and knowing where the obstacles are, or the potholes in the road, as I call it, for adoption and optimization of that solution. So for me, I'm not a stalker, but I do try to have that have that direct conversation, because that's 5x, 10x of the price for me of going to Dreamforce, because you're able to get those gold or diamonds, depending on who you're talking to and how they're able to answer your questions. So that's one thing I'm definitely looking forward to. Are there any sessions or announcements, Sanjeet, that you think really are, mouth-watering for you?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, listening to Sundar Pichai and Mark Benioff is something I'm really looking forward to. And I'm not sure what announcements are coming through, but this MCP server launch, right? So they are launching this MCP server for Agentforce, which is already launched, but they're launching MCP servers on Agent Exchange. That is what I've read from the Salesforce documentation. So I'm pretty excited about that, because MCP servers are like pretty crazy, and if they can get connected to Agentforce through Agent Exchange, I think that can add a lot of value to our customers. That is something I'm pretty excited about. Looking forward to attending more sessions around data, and specifically around how data and AI are like improving. And then there's always an amazing announcement at Dreamforce, so looking forward to it. I have a glimpse of what it can be, and so do you. But let's wait for the Dreamforce to happen.
Yes. Well, and things have changed, right? When I went in 2009 and since then, Mark would make an announcement at Dreamforce. Now we're going to have Chatter. Now we're going to have Genie, whatever the announcements was, right? Changes to mobile. And for the partners and customers, there wasn't a SKU until 9 months later. And then you could buy the product about the time of Dreamforce. And because of the development teams at Salesforce, they've really ramped up. They've gotten so fast. And with AI now, we have monthly releases coming. So it's not 3 times a year. It's a lot more. You're having to keep up a lot faster. And so if you look for a press release from Salesforce the day before Dreamforce or the day of Dreamforce, that's one way to impress your friends. Well, I think Mark's going to talk about this today, right? And so that's one way to look insightful or be insightful. But now with the rapid pace of development that Salesforce has accelerated its pipeline, for me, that's more exciting, because you're able to hear some of the nuanced elements, or especially with AI, it seems as though they're dumping on a bucket of features every month in AI and for Agentforce, which has been fantastic for our organization, with whether it's Tableau Next or Agentforce, to have that continue to serve our customers and improve their experience. So I know that's one thing for me that I'm looking forward to this year at Agentforce or at Dreamforce, because the changes aren't telegraphed the way they used to be. The changes, can catch you by surprise pleasantly on some new things that are coming out.
Absolutely. No, I think Agentforce is like huge innovation, though it has a lot of miles to cross yet, right? A lot of things to innovate inside, but it is incredibly a great platform, and I think there'll be definitely Dreamforce 3.0 is already there, 4.0 are a lot of new enhancements out there. But what do you think about this AI space, right? Should people focus more on AI, or like we as an organization are like an AI first organization, and we do pretty much AI each day, every day. All our tools are already incorporated in the system, and I personally code a lot on AI, even off Salesforce, on Salesforce. What do you think about AI in general?
So for me, AI in general, for in a corporate setting, not I have whiskey, triple sec, and oranges. What can I make with that? Right? That's not AI. Yeah. That's there's some guidance there, generative guidance there, but for a business, right? That's where I think 3 business things are probably the most important: executive sponsorship, Any project without executive sponsorship, unless there's a huge groundswell underneath it, has risk. Business case, right? What are you trying to do? Jobs people hate to do, no joy jobs. If it's midnight, does someone want to work at midnight to answer questions about where's my order? If you could set up an agent for that, and the person can work the shift they want to work instead, there's a business case there. So you can have after hours automation handling the routine questions, and it's not a chatbot, where a chatbot is like a choose your own adventure book that you have to write from scratch. You have to know all the different threads. And so that I'd say that. And then I'd also say internal first. Drink your own champagne first before you give it to someone, to a guest at the party. And so for me, that's where those three things come together: the business case, executive sponsorship, and starting internally to get the feedback. And if something hallucinates, and it's the head of support that sees the hallucination, or you're monitoring it and you see the hallucination, is it the end of the world if it's internal? No. You've already communicated what the guidelines are. You've already communicated how to provide feedback. So it's not as difficult a path than when it hallucinates with a client. So I think those three things are what we're seeing with AI. Had some conversations with some people at Google and what they're seeing. And over there, it's like agents talking to agents, and they're performing a lot of tasks for people so that they don't have to do those. So I'm really excited about what it can do. I'm not worried about Skynet at this point. I really think that there's going to be some great evolution, and organizations are going to learn, developers are going to learn, customers are going to learn. When they're dealing with an agent, this is how they should behave for the best. They've been trained for the best responses from an agent. So we're really doubling down on AI, especially with my co-founder and his years of experience with Tableau. And so I'm excited about the Tableau Next.
Tableau Next is really amazing.
At the conference. So, I mean, what are you thinking that you're going to see at Dreamforce, or just after Dreamforce, as it relates to AI and Salesforce? Any thoughts there on where Salesforce is going to go?
I think they'll have a large chunk of enhancements on top of Agentforce. I think that is Data Cloud and Agentforce are going to be the core areas of innovation. I believe that is my personal thought. And Agentforce is going to blow up, and they might add a lot of features like.
And when you say blow up, you mean in a good way?
Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah,
in a good way, right? Unless they launch another new product. I think Agentforce has still a lot of things to add. Like they can add a lot of voice features there. It lacks a lot in voice features, right? So you can. How I look at AI is maybe 5 years, or 5 years is a bit too much. Maybe 2 years down the line, right? You don't want to type, right? It'll be laptop might be just a screen, right? Or not even a screen. I don't know. Maybe like a Siri in your phone or something, and you just say, "Hey, can you connect with Josh?" And like, yeah, okay, sure. I'll just check with Josh's AI agent. And if Josh has some time, I'll get you connected. Or it can be something like, hey, can you book a meeting for me on the calendar? It happens now. Like I use MCP server, so I do that all the time. I just prompted to like block a meeting with Josh at 6 p.m. and it does automatically and sends you an invite, right? So that is already there. But I think voice can be huge. If you don't need to type, you are sitting, you're driving, you're doing whatever, and you can just chat, and the job is done. Imagine that kind of world, right? And we are not far away from that. So I'm pretty excited about voice and how voice can modulate. We also implemented a voice agent recently for one of our customers, and rather a couple of our customers. So wherein all the inbound calls, they used to miss, or it used to go through IVR, and it was a bad customer experience. This voice assistant called Josh, the AI voice assistant called Josh, he used to take all the calls, and it was phenomenal. He used to like book meetings, transcripts. If something is urgent, it used to route to their email box or people who are in the support, and it used to segregate and things like that. The customer did not look at it like a IVR. It was more conversational. I think that has a lot of value. So I'm pretty excited about voice, and we are doing a lot of POCs internally on top of voice. What do you think about it?
Well, I do think that voice is going to have an acceleration point with Salesforce, with Slack. But one of the fourth client that we had request an Agentforce project, it was, we want voice. We want to be able to log certain things with our voice. And it was a fairly simple use case. And as Salesforce has evolved, it's been kind of funny. They wanted 4 features, 3 at first. And for the first feature, we could do it right off the bat. The second feature, we had to wait for a release. The client wasn't ready. The third one, we're getting ready to work on. And so for us, it's they're keeping pace with the readiness of our client. As the client is, we're trying to expose them to the different options, actions, topics. However, they need, it's a business case. What's the job to be done? And they very much want to dive into voice. So I'm glad, Sanjeet, that your company has had such deep knowledge and experience with voice. I think for me, the thing that I'm most excited about is Slack and analytics. Slack is making collaboration with Salesforce. I mean, it's on the phone. Yeah, it's like a B2C interaction. And that's where we've seen this big separation, the Venn diagram they didn't touch, where B2C was clunky. I mean, think classic. And some of the why can't I automatically kick off the approval process when it's eligible? And with a lot of the changes that have happened over the past 5 years, you're able to automate a lot of that, but it's gotten tighter so that you can have analytics at your fingertips on your phone and people collaboration on your phone with Slack. So when I'm sitting, I don't always sit in first class, but when I do sit in first class, I see a lot of Slack. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Slack is like going crazy. Every person I speak to is on Slack. A small organization, large organization, everybody is like using Slack. So I think Slack is a big revolution, and maybe integrating and things with Slack might add a lot of value. Analytics on Slack. So it also, imagine a future where you don't have any user interface. You just have Slack, right? And there's like a headless CRM, right? And you are just using Slack, and you have all the analytics there. It like real time creates the graphs and everything. And you can also chat through it. You can, hey, what are the top priorities I need to work on today? And it pulls in from the headless CRM and just puts in there. Maybe Salesforce becomes headless. We never know.
And I see the same thing. We're going from forms that are all separate. You have an account form, a contact form, an opportunity form. You have to fill out form. Users complain. Why? Because multiple forms. And then we got to the point where we could have one form. Okay, great. Why do we have a form? To feed a database. Why do we have a database? To feed reporting. And now we're getting to conversations where you
database might not be required.
Yeah, it's changing. The forms, like you're saying with headless, I think the database will still be there, but the interactions with the database will be smarter so that people don't have to first name type, last name type, title type. You can have a conversation. I spoke with John Smith, who's the CFO at Dewey Cheatham and Howe, and we need an opportunity for John that does this, this, and this. And this is the estimated pricing. Set up a meeting with the deal team to talk about this opportunity, and then have a conversation with the customer. So it fits within the flow of business.
We're actually doing this. So we are actually doing this, building this one of our customers, wherein we are giving them inside Salesforce. This is like a Salesforce-ready project. So we are creating an agent outside of Salesforce, and we are like giving them a button to speak, and they can just like you speak with ChatGPT or any other AI tool. We give them a button. They like keep talking, right? And then once they have spoken through, we call it the customer notes, and it kind of goes to the LLM and it processes everything. It asks you questions back, right? It is back and forth. It is a conversational kind of mode wherein the LLM will post questions, and then it will ask you some questions like, hey, Josh, I think you missed on this information. Can you help me with that as well to create the data set? And then you'll tell the information, or you say, I don't have it. And then it will say, okay, that's okay. And it automatically create records, reports, and everything in the system. So we are working on one of that project. It's pretty cool.
Okay, that's great, because the thing that I like about AI is that AI is not shy to ask questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if there's an interaction with a customer and you need to ask certain questions, no one gets offended. Give me your order number and your email address, and they give you a Gmail. Please give me your corporate email address so that I can use your corporate email address to look up to authenticate this request. And it just saves time and has, its proper steps. So if they provide it at the beginning, they provide it at the end, it doesn't matter. It has that context and can build and can provide what the customer needs when the customer needs it. So yeah, I'm excited in that direction as well. What kind of trends? I mean, you're doing a lot of voice. What kind of trends are you seeing that your customers are asking for, and what kind of trends do you wish your customers were asking for because of what you see possible?
To be very honest, customers need education, right? So we are like doing some workshops with the clients, and we are showcasing them certain other demos and how things can be done. So they are pretty keen to do it. They are also a bit hesitant at times, like voice, right? Voice is my personal favorite, and so is our customers. Everybody wants voice, so that is something we are looking at. Then they want like a limited functional. They want like smaller agents, multiple chunks of smaller agents, rather than one agent doing the wholesome kind of thing, right? So they are pretty excited to start with pilot small projects here and there, and then go on from there. That is something we have seen across our customer base. People are really excited. They want to like increase their productivity to. They think that in a day they can increase their productivity to like 100x, right? That is not possible. It is a slow and steady game. So I think we're educating the customers and everybody around the ecosystem to adopt to AI, but in a steady fashion, because with AI comes a lot of data security and governance as well, right? So you can ignore that, and so you need to keep that in mind. With Agentforce, we definitely have the governance layer, but if you talk outside of Agentforce or outside of Salesforce, you want to integrate and things like that. That is something you need to take care of, specifically in financial services and these kind of sectors.
Yes, yeah. And speaking of financial services, the security that Salesforce has set up around Agentforce has made me a lot more comfortable around how our data is being used and what data can be accessed and then exposed. So treating it the way we treat other users is great for administrators and I was leading the Dallas user group meeting, and someone asked, hey, well, how do I know this agent isn't going to be a system admin who can access everything? And then when it answers a question, it might expose something. And having that security model that is already known to the administrators, developers, architects, it's not a brand new AI model that they need to learn.
Absolutely.
It's simply what they've already been doing for so long. And we're seeing a lot of comfort with architects, admins, developers in that security model so that we're using, the agent's just another introduction. And I've even heard people say that HR and IT are going to have to partner better, because in a call center, if we have 10,000 calls, and for 10,000 calls, you need 200 agents, if that's the number. And if you have some automated agents that can handle some of those calls, they need to be measured as well and monitored as well, just like the human agents. And so when you look at the performance of an AI agent and the performance of a human agent, you want to make sure that the human agents are being supported as much as possible, and that the AI agents are being measured and monitored in a similar fashion, because you may wind up being able to take the 200 individuals and move, say, 50 of them to do better brain matter tasks.
Absolutely.
And you can then allow the agent to answer the redundant questions that come up every day because of shipments or nervousness around the holidays. When is my package going to arrive on the 23rd? Please. Well, you can have an agent handle that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I enjoy seeing that, because agents. I don't want agents to replace people, but agents provide, doing the job to be done, the no joy job to be done.
Yeah. To do more of the job that requires a lot of brain, and like not lot, maybe a bit more of brain than. So everybody needs to enhance themselves, right, to next year, so that they are not replaced by AI agents, correct?
Right. And if you think about a call center, those folks back in the bad old days had 12 different applications open all at the same time on all these screens, trying to figure out, okay, your order, your shipment, your billing, this last CRM ticket you opened, having to look everywhere and starting to consolidate all that with Data Cloud. You may have a few tabs open or sub tabs open, but you're not having to work so hard to do the thing that you want to do to bring, excitement to your customer.
Absolutely.
That's what we like seeing.
Yeah. Great. So talking outside of technology, AI, right? What do you think people should do except for attending sessions? What is it? That you are ready to do, except for talking technology with folks around?
Yes. I think, commiserating with other individuals on what's been successful for them within their organization, because someone else may be 2 steps ahead of you in your learning curve when it comes to the product. You can ask, how do I deal with my Salesforce AE when they ask me these questions? How do I deal with my CEO when she asks me these questions? And preparing each other as a network. I think, the Ohana, the Salesforce community, is why I go to Dreamforce. Yes, I learn when I'm there, but interacting with individuals and having conversations where I may help 4 people because of where I am, and 5 people might help me because of where they are. So it's that is very much what I'm looking forward to. And, the Metallica concert should be a lot of fun. I've seen Benson Boone before at ACL. Seeing Benson Boone again would be great too. So I need to check out the venue for Benson Boone, because the last time Metallica played and Janet Jackson, I think, played, everyone who went to the Janet Jackson concert gushed about how amazing it was. And everyone who went to the concert enjoyed it. So I think commiserating with people, talking with customers, and it is fun to take people to their first Dreamforce experience. The keynote, oh my gosh, this is huge. This is amazing. All these things are happening.
One recommendation is enter the keynote on time, otherwise you won't get a seat.
Right. Or figure out a way to watch it remote from one of the watching sites. And the little campsite, campsite that we have between Moscone, the north and south, is a comfortable place to watch 90% of the time. It's a sunny day and you're just sitting outside and watching on the big screen with a bunch of friends, and there may be food nearby.
The lunch area, right?
Right.
Yeah, the lunch area, they have like a huge screen and some good stuff to sit on.
Right. It looks like a national park with
chairs and screen.
But I would make one recommendation, and this is key, especially for my session. If you may have like decent Bluetooth on your phone and good Bluetooth headphones, that's great. But if there's a separation between the speaker, your phone, and your Bluetooth, the plug-in jack headphones to your phone are a good idea, because you won't have a skip caused by Bluetooth. You only have a pause because of what is being projected to your phone. And a lot of the sessions, if we're all in different theaters in the same room, then you have one group over here, another group over there, another group behind you, and everyone's talking, and there are conversations taking place. So I would say my learning from the Tableau conference is get a pair of headphones that plug into your phone, just to remove that last. I mean, it feels old school, but it works.
But it's a good idea, right?
Yeah. And then you have a hard line to your phone at least, so that you control some of the skipping and some of the static that may occur in that audio. So I would recommend that. And again, my session's in a theater where there will be other sessions around it. So if you do go to my session, please wear headphones.
I'll definitely be there. So just on a closing note, right? When is your session? What time is it?
I've got one on Tuesday and I've got one on Friday afternoon. So if you look up Monson, MONSON, you will find my sessions both days.
Great. No, I am looking forward to be there. So any other closing tips or remarks for people attending for the first time?
The weather in San Francisco is fickle, right? So it could rain and then not rain, and then it's sunny out, and then it's cold and windy. So 3 times since 2009, I've bought a sweater, a jacket, something, an extra layer to protect myself from the cold or the rain, what have you. So I would say be prepared with your, I don't think you need an umbrella. 1 year you need an umbrella. But I would say, be prepared with your outerwear, the outer layer just in case,
Yeah.
comfortable shoes, open mind, and then open slots in your schedule because you'll want to walk around to talk to the different vendors.
You need to visit campground.
Right. You can learn so much at the campground, and just having a conversation, whether it's a Salesforce booth or a booth that is a vendor. The vendor's there to help you. They're not. I've never seen a hard sell at Dreamforce. I can't believe I can say that out loud, but it's true. I have not. So it's just people having conversations.
Yeah,
And
it's pretty cool.
if someone knows something, and you say, what are your top three competitors? Oh, this, and this, and this is we're better than them because of these three reasons. But they'll level with you on what you should look at when you're doing your due diligence when buying products on the App Exchange. And I love the App Exchange.
Yeah, App Exchange is like really great, and I think you have a lot of products out there, a lot of partners, a lot of ISVs out there in the campground. So do visit them. They have spent really a lot of money to make the event possible. So be there.
And leave space in your bag to bring home swag.
Zags, yeah, that is the key, right?
Yeah.